And hi, Pablo. How are you? So Pablo posted this picture because you officiated your wedding,
Right.
and I'm like, Pablo, what do you mean? DJ SISTUKI? Like, because I met Pablo through the show, but we become friends. And I was like, okay. So I did not know you're coming because I was like, you need to make sure I meet him somewhere. So anyway, congratulations.
Thank you.
I was really
Appreciate
happy
it.
to see that and to have my friend officiate your wedding. So that was very interesting. We were talking about how normally you'd have like a priest officiate your wedding or like a man of the cloth officiate your wedding. This was very interesting to have like somebody who's very neutral.
Right.
Let me ask you. So one of the questions, and I think you're giving the background that you're very integrated with Kenya, with the other Kenyans growing up, kind of makes my other question a bit mute, but I'm going to ask anyway. So, because that is now, it becomes an interracial, multicultural wedding, marriage or relationship. How were you guys able to navigate that? Meet, like introduce their family or friends? Like, how did that go for you guys?
Honestly, there's nothing out of the ordinary about it for us.
Okay.
There's never been anything out of the ordinary. Okay. In my family, we've never drawn any sort of cultural or racial boundaries. We just grew up like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I get asked that question a lot.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't have an outstanding answer
for that. Okay.
I don't have something dramatic about it because there was nothing dramatic about it.
Okay.
It was quite the normal, just two people who meet and decide that they want to start a family together and stay with each other.
And dance.
And dance.
Oh, sorry.
and just, two people who meet and fall in love and decide to move forward.
Okay.
So there was nothing out of the ordinary about it, honestly. Yeah.
Your families?
Our families get along well,
very
perfectly
fine.
well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the question why I would come in for me, again, as I said, my lens was, if I went to my dad today and I said, I met an Indian, number one would be like, how did you meet them? Because that would be very mysterious because we never really had to interact with them. Here I can go back and like, I met this person that they're different from me, but like, but in Kenya, that would have been like, how did you even do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Now the other thing about in Kenya is, again, to Ali's point about a lot of Indians kind of staying within their own circle. Till today, there's still a lot of arranged marriages.
Okay.
Within the Indian community.
Okay.
Even in our generation, right?
Interesting.
So a lot of guys and a lot of girls will actually date in high school. I had friends in high school who were Indians, girls dating Kenyan men, and then vice versa. But then it ends up somehow from a very young age, this adhesion to family is very ingrained, right? So because of that, a lot of times now when the community says, okay, now we need to go find you a wife, now we need to go find you a husband, you submit.
That is why they ask you, how did you meet your... I think that is where it comes from.
Right.
Because
but,
it's very
but as time continues, a lot of people are being more open-minded about that and opening up. So, like I said, there's still some arranged marriages happening today in our generation, but the percentage of those is
down.
It keeps dropping. It keeps dropping, right?
Okay.
So, as time continues, as the world becomes smaller, I think people start intermarrying and stuff like that a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
And just to add on to that, Sunny brought up an interesting thing. Like he said, like for them, that family, like they don't have. One Mike and I had the honor of being hosted by Sunny. And we met Sunny's mom, his sis, of course the little baby, sweet baby, but there's no separation, because I grew up with a lot of Indian friends in Kenya, and we would go over for tea. Kwanza Diwali, uko hapo ndani. The food was like the best part, and then the tea, like they cook their tea with, I don't know, there's an kind of spice they add inside there. I don't know. Ali talks of mdalasini. Theirs, I don't know what it is. It is the bomb. Alafu na iko na maziwa mop. Where?
When you say that, do you mean Sunny's family
I'm
does
talking
that
about
too?
no, I'm talking about
Okay,
Indians.
'cause,
So,
you know.
but that Sunny's family, Sunny was the cook then. He was the guy who was on the grill, and us guys were just sitting and enjoying.
You know, I could pass by Rally
huu ni
on
mtu
my
wa
way
chai.
somewhere
Unaona, huu
else.
ni mtu wa chai. But you could see there is no from what you are saying, you know, that so-called separation.
Yeah.
It's not there. And for those of us who grew up in Nairobi with the Indians, I think we had a different experience from Machakos,
Yeah.
because
Absolutely, yeah.
the Indians were very integrated with us in
Okay.
school, in everything. We played soccer together. We went to their houses after school. You know, on your way home, before you ingia home, there some of them lived close. You go, you pass through there. Unakunywa chai, ukiendelea. You know, coming in the morning, you pick them up as you walk coming into school. So we were very, very integrated. There was we didn't feel any separation at all. And I left home too early to see the afterwards of you know, like now
After
high school, you know, to see how people went.
Yeah.
You know, that part I didn't see, but all through high school and all of that, we were all integrated. So we didn't get to, at least I didn't get to see that in Nairobi.
Okay.
So maybe Machakos was a whole different.
So, you know, like
Yeah.
his point about after school, like my uncle, my dad's younger brother, we owned, you know, he owned a business, and throughout, there were always people that he was close to that used to help him with this, that used to help him with this, that used to help him with this. And they were never like people that he just found and hired. I come to find out they went to high school together, or
Oh,
they did
wow.
this together, or they
Yeah.
did, you know, they were in primary school together. So a lot of the people that were part of the business that my family ran ended up being like old friends of my uncle. So it's like that relationship continues. You know, I have some friends that have moved away from Kenya after high school, and I have a friend in Dubai. When I go there, I bump into him and I end up hanging out with him. I have friends in other countries, so whenever I travel out of the country, we always reconnect with our high school friends and keep that relationship going.